is up, everybody? I'm Jay Shady, also known as the Voice of Reason, and I have my WrestleMania 1 review ready. So usually I stand up and yell and scream, but these are just retro reviews, so I figure I'd just sit down and be all chill for this stuff. So, first off, I just want to say, if you're expecting some 80s like fan expertise review, that's not what you're gonna get from this video. I was born in 1990, so I wasn't around for this stuff, and I wasn't there to. A lot of this stuff is about the hype, about what built up to it. What preceded this, everything that surrounded it, everything that was going on at the time, and I wasn't there for that. And I don't have time to go back and watch everything that built up to this. It's like watching just the end of a movie without knowing what happened before it. That's how it is with watching these things. So I can't give a review based on everything that happened. And I know that's the storyline is one of the most important parts. The match is just the end of it, but it's all about what happened before. So I can't do that. I'm just gonna say how it looks today, how it holds up today, and I understand that it has a huge historical impact. It's the first WrestleMania. It's the one that started it all. But, if I just rate it for its historical significance and I just give it an A, then why even do a review? Why even watch it? Because, it's just an A. But I'm going to try to actually, how this looks to somebody that wasn't around for it. I'm going to try to rate it in that way. So I know I'm going to probably get a lot of shit for this, for not saying, it was the greatest thing that ever happened, but fuck it, here we go. That being said, I thought this was a pretty enjoyable show, it was you could tell that a lot went into this. You could tell how pop culturally relevant WrestleMania was, the WWF was so much different than today where nobody watches it. This was worldwide. This was the peak era besides the Attitude Era. Those are the two big eras, This felt like a huge event. Everybody was there. Everybody was watching. It felt like old school of the glory days of boxing when you'd have a bunch of matches on the card and everybody would be anticipating it, and it was a huge event that everybody watched. Yeah, so here we go. Let's just go down the card, I guess. The first match was Tito Santana versus the Executioner. Pretty good opening match. I liked it. Just saying, the match quality back then, it was a lot less. It was more simple. The crowd, was much more easily pleased than they are today. A body slam for the crowd and they flip out over a body slam, or somebody going on the top rope. Regardless of what they do, they go crazy for that shit. And it's ironic that, with the whole simpleness of the match quality and, a lot of the rest holds, it's ironic that that's exactly the same way matches are done today. But, it worked in the 80s because they didn't see all the crazy shit later on and all the stuff that would evolve, how wrestling would evolve. So it worked in the 80s, but it just doesn't work today. We've seen the Attitude Era. We've seen how high wrestling could go, how much more it could be. So why are they wrestling this same type of match today? It doesn't make sense. This is why the matches suck today, but back then you could respect them. So anyway, pretty good opening match. It got it started the show off good. It was short, but all these matches were short pretty much, except for two. Just because the show, first of all, was only 2 hours and 15 minutes, and you had 9 matches on the card. It was pretty much Vince McMahon just showcasing as much talent as possible in a short amount of time because everybody's watching this. So a lot of these matches are short. This was a short one, but a pretty good opener. It ends with Tito Santana putting the figure 4 leg lock on the Executioner, and he submits him. Good opener. Next was King Kong Bundy versus Special Delivery Jones. This was just a squash match, so I can't really, go on about it. King Kong Bundy beat Special Delivery Jones in 21 seconds. No problem. Then you got Ricky Steamboat versus Matt Bourne, a.k.a. Doink the Clown. Ricky Steamboat is a joy to watch. Very innovative, just very energetic. But this match wasn't so great. It was short, kind of slow. But Ricky Steamboat's a joy to watch. But that being said, it was an okay match. Nothing special, nothing good, nothing bad. It ends with Ricky Steamboat doing a crossbody, and he gets the pin. Then you get David Sammartino versus Brutus Beefcake, and this match was just fucking bad. I didn't like this match at all. I really did not like David Sammartino, the son of Bruno. He just looks like he has no fucking business being there. He's just like a short, chubby oaf. You know, he looks out of place. No charisma whatsoever. This whole match was like 10 minutes of fucking rest holds. This match went on too fucking long. Brutus Beefcake had some arm where he's just fixing it the whole match and made it distracting. It picked up a little bit at the end, but it ended with fucking mayhem. It made no sense. It was a double disqualification. Bruno Sammartino, who was at ringside, comes in the ring and starts brawling with Brutus Beefcake's manager, and it was just a double disqualification. Did not like this match whatsoever. Then you get Junkyard Dog versus Greg the Hammer Valentine for the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, it's hard to like rate these matches because they're just very simple. You know, it's a very different style. The crowd was very much behind Junkyard Dog. It was okay, but the ending just really brought it down. Greg the Hammer Valentine pins Junkyard Dog, but has his foot on the ropes. The ref doesn't see. Then Tito Santana comes out and tells the ref that he had his foot on the ropes, and like the ref is believing the wrestler for some fucking reason. They restart the match just for Greg the Hammer Valentine to lose on a countout. He just walks away. So, like, why restart the fucking match if it's just going to end in a countout? It was just stupid. Dumb ending. Really dumb ending. Then you get the match of the night. I enjoyed the fuck out of this match. Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik with Freddie Blassie in their corner versus Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda, a.k.a. the father of the one and only Bo Dallas. Okay, this is for the Tag Team Championship. Woo! Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov, great fucking heels. Got so much fucking heat from the crowd. The crowd was so much into this. They were getting so much heat from the crowd, therefore putting the other team over, wanting to see the Americans beat the shit out of these anti-Americans. You know, just, you don't get heel heat like this anymore, you know. Great fucking villains. Just, and a very fast-paced match, actually. Very good match quality. Wasn't slow at all. It, you know, it wasn't that long, but for the time that it lasted, it was very enjoyable. The crowd was into this as hell. Great heel stuff, like I said, and Nikolai, they get the win with the Iron Sheik takes Freddie Blassie's cane and hits Barry Windham in the back with it without the ref seeing and gets the pin. So they get a dirty win. You know, had the crowd, got all the heat on them, and really good match of the night, definitely. They Nikolai Volkov and Iron Sheik win the tag team titles. Then you get Andre the Giant versus Big John Studd in a 15,000 body slam challenge, and I'm sorry, this just fucking sucked. Like, I like, you know, Andre the Giant is, you know, a nice, gentle guy. I understand that. And all you fucking, like, 80s fanatics are probably going to bash the shit out of me for not saying this was 5 stars. Oh, you don't understand what it was about. You know, you don't understand how significant this was. But this shit was just boring. First of all, why is it a test for Andre the Giant to body slam Big John Studd? I mean, John Cena could pick up Big John Studd. Andre the Giant is 500 fucking pounds. Obviously, he could body slam the fucking guy. So what's the suspense there? And then it wasn't even like a body slam. It was like a match. And then in the match, you had to do a body slam. Why not just like have him try to body slam him from the beginning? But anyway, this match was so slow. It was just rest holds. 30-minute bear hug with like Big John Studd not selling it at all. He was just standing there looking around for like 30 minutes. It ends with the body slam. I guess a memorable moment, a historic moment. And Andre the Giant throws out some of the money to the crowd. But I'm sorry. I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, but this was boring. Alright, then you get Wendy Richter with Cyndi Lauper, the star of the Rock and Roll and Wrestling Connection. I guess today it's the Shitty Music and Wrestling Connection. They don't have rock anymore. But yeah, Wendy Richter and Cyndi Lauper versus Leilani Kai with Fabulous Moolah. This was a big attraction. Imagine that, a women's match being a big attraction. Obviously a lot of hype around this, a lot of media attention. This is what I think the WrestleMania did best. It got, you know, entertainment aspects from all sides, you know, music, movies, whatever, and they showcased it all here. And this wasn't a good match at all. A lot of hair pulling, a lot of sloppiness. Wendy Richter wins, but you know, it was what it was. It was, you know, it wasn't for the match quality. It was for Cyndi Lauper and, you know, how, you know, pop culturally relevant it was. Then you get the main event, and before the main event, you get a bunch of stuff. You get like Billy Martin, I think that's his name, the Yankees manager, coming out being the ring announcer. You get Muhammad Ali coming out. You get Liberace with the Rockettes dancing in the ring, and you really saw how, you know, how relevant wrestling was. They can never pull this shit off today. I mean, wrestling at that time was just so relevant, you know, so much revolved around it, and the entertainment field. It was very much a part of, you know, living in everybody's life, you know. And I thought it showcased it well. So you get Hulk Hogan and his co-star from Rocky 3, Mr. T, a.k.a. Clubber Lang, versus Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. That was the main event. I enjoyed the beginning of the match a lot. I thought it was very good at the beginning. With the crowd was into this as hell. They were working the crowd. The crowd was dying for Mr. T to square off with Roddy Piper, and I just want to say Mr. T was fucking very impressive. I mean, he wasn't clunky. He didn't look out of place. He looked like a wrestler. He fit in there very good, and big props to Mr. T for pulling that off. He was the most interesting part for me, the most entertaining part for me. But too many times this turned into a clusterfuck. Too many people getting involved. You had Jimmy Snook in there, Bob Orton, Muhammad Ali punching people. Too much happening, and then it settled down again. But then at the end, too much happens again, and everybody gets involved. It ends with Bob Orton going to hit Hulk Hogan with the cast, but Hulk Hogan moves out of the way, and Mr. Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful, gets hit, and Hulk Hogan gets the pin and wins. Clusterfuck ending, but it was what it was. I guess it satisfied everybody, you know, for the entertainment aspect. But I would like to see Mr. T get the pin, but whatever. So yeah, there you go. It was an enjoyable WrestleMania. I mean, if you're somebody that is so used to, you know, the Attitude Era pay-per-views, or, you know, even today's standards, you're not gonna enjoy this. It's just like a nostalgic thing, you know. It's kind of nice taking a step back in time, seeing how, you know, different it was, you know, simple that the matches were, yet how much of an impact wrestling had on, you know, entertainment and society in general. So this is a rough one to grade, really. I'm going to give it a 7. It's probably a 6.5, but I'm going to give it a 7. If you're looking just for match quality, it's probably like a 4 or 5. But if you take into the entertainment aspect, you know, and that's what it was booked on. It wasn't booked on match quality. It's booked on entertainment. So if you take into that account, you know, how groundbreaking it was, how revolutionary, you know, how it was the first one. If you take that into account and the matches, because you have to look at the matches also. You can't just say, oh, it's an A+ because of, you know, it's the first one and it was all about entertainment. How does it stand up today? If you mesh both of them, I'll give it a 7. So there you go. That's my review. 80s fans, give me all the shit you want. I really don't fucking care. I'll come back next with a WrestleMania 2 review. Until then, I'm Jay Shady, also known as the Voice of Reason. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you later.